Everybody see it?
Yeah.
It's at
Going center.
38. And
It's centered now.
It's 0.45. And
Right
so we
to
want
left.
to, what, turn left? Okay, now it disappears because it's gone out of our view, but I can move the window, our view out the window, so that we're looking in the appropriate direction, so that we can still see it. And it's going to go behind the wing, we know that, but this is where you can talk to them about keeping your eye on where you think it is, so that when you're getting close, you're already looking to where it should be popping out. And then we can move the view a little bit, and there it is right there. So we were looking, our eyes followed where we thought it was going to be behind the wing, even though we couldn't see it. So you can talk about that sort of thing. You can talk about what's going to happen now, right? We're going to fly over it, right? Target's going to pass underneath? No. Tell them to level out, Go right a little bit if you have to. Keep the target in view. These are things that you can work with the spotter, the pilot instructor can work out together, and you can review with your spotters about how to direct the airplane. And again, they're on the intercom, so they can have their little conversation about how to direct the airplane. But there's lots of little things about spotters that you can do, about spotter training, that you can get them to articulate. You can get them to speak to you. And the ground has features. You guys are used to grid marks all over the place. We don't have that. This is what my ground looks like.
Ours too,
Okay.
for McMurray.
Oh, yeah, right. Now the other thing is, I'll just put our view back here so that it's more or less there. If you, I'm just going to show you some more controls on the CVT. These ones right here. So if I click right there, it puts a bar out at 9 o'clock. So you can help orient your spotters with where the clock position is. And I missed, there we go, there's 8 o'clock, and we won't see it, but 10 o'clock is up there a little bit. There's another one, this one here, if you double click on it, you can turn it on and you can set it wherever you want it. And you can turn it off. The other thing you can do is you can put on the spotter guides. Okay? To gives you the opportunity to enforce the idea that you're looking at spots on the ground, you're not just sliding your eyes back and forth, right? And if they're stressed about whether or not they're seeing the whole thing, then you can, sorry, I'm just, you can, spotter guides, right now they're automatic, so we should be about 1,000 off the ground. We're still in the search area anyways. You can put more trailing guides here. So instead of just one, I've got 3 or 4, so that you can see, you can put a whole bunch of them. And spotter guides, 5. And you can see how the ground gets covered completely. And it'll do half mile and a mile, and it automatically switches depending on what your elevation above ground is. What else?
Show distance check.
Oh, the distance check. Okay, that's back over here. Oops. Am I? Let me just move this back over so you can see it here. So right here, let me turn these guys off. It's getting a little cluttered. I should have turned the trailing guides down for one as well. Actually, what I can do is if I do that turns the guides off. That's 1 mile range ring. And these guides, they actually, they sit on the ground. So when the ground goes up, the guide goes up as well. you'll see them jiggling up and down a little bit. This ground is pretty flat. It's the bottom of the guide is your 1 mile, and I can put a half mile on there. So you can help orient your spotters that way. You can go, there's a whole bunch of buttons down here. We've just been looking at the left side here. You can do the same thing on the right side. So if you've got your configuration set up that it's better to do a right side spotter instead of a left side spotter. I don't think, the guides do this sort of thing. So you can talk about the difference between left spotter is like this and right spotter is like this, or it's like this, I can't remember.
Yeah.
But if you want to go over that, you can see it because it does show it here. We just go here to right spotter view, and then we can put the guides on the right side, and there you go. So you can talk about that if you want. Spotters, so intercom, call around procedures.
Oh, I think I see it over there. Just behind the wing.
You get to talk about all those things. Anything else about spotters that I should mention? No?
How many targets can you put on at once?
As many as you can handle. I find, like I've got a fishing boat and a
Plane?
plane, right? I don't put that many on, so we're looking at the right side right now. Here comes our fishing boat. I find it easier just to take the one that I've got and
Move it around.
move it around.
Sure.
It might be, oh darn, it was too close.
And it's always
There it
going to
is.
be a white airplane?
No, there's a couple of different
Oh, there is?
kinds, yeah.
Green.
Green. Well, white in the winter time, green. We're able to set this thing for a view from the Hercules too, rather than just the 172.
Yeah, right. So the view from the Hercules, we have to end our simulation here. So there is, I'm trying to find my mouse. Time to close the simulator, save the track note, and then exit this thing here. And let me think here. You can pick in the flight plan creator. I haven't done that very often, but I think under spotter training, there might be I can't remember. I can't remember how you get that one up. I think maybe you have to go back to the, anybody knows the answer, help me out. But I think if you go to the scenario and select C-130, then you can run that scenario. I got a feeling, let me load up my Norman Wells here and change the airplane to a C-130, save as C-130. I don't want to mess up my Norman Wells one. And then I can run that and see what happens. So we have a C-130 view instead of, looks like it's going to start on here instead of there anyway. But it's coming up sideways. Oh, we're 500 feet above ground now in the A2. Probably a bit low. So it's expecting you to turn the monitor sideways.
Sure.
Oops. Not too low. Doesn't react as fast as the other one. But so that you can do C-130. If you're using the monitor on the post, then all you have to, it just swivels, right? So you would just swivel. This is supposed to be on the other screen. Okay. What I'd like to do now, I think we've exhausted that. Anyhow, the bottom line is, it's not that hard to run.
And despite its faults, it's got some really useful capabilities that I think can really benefit our training our navigators and training our spotters. It doesn't do everything; it's a simulation, but there are bits that do work, and I think that that we can make some use of it. Okay, so I'm going to put that. I'm going to turn this.